All right, it's ride day. Maybe tomorrow? Do you ever have trouble getting motivated? Hang on a second, we need some better weather.
Okay, well, today is a beautiful day. The sun is out, the temperature's perfect, but I had this idea for a video because when I woke up this morning, it was awful out. This was the day for my planned bike ride, and boy, there was no sun. It was windy, it was cold, it was just generally disgusting, and I didn't want to ride. I found lately as I've gotten older, my ability to ignore the environment has increased substantially. Usually I didn't care what the temperature was like. I didn't care if it was raining, I didn't care if it was freezing. I just went out and got on the bike or the trike and rode. But that's not the case these days, unfortunately. So, what do you do to get yourself to go out there on those horrible days and keep exercising? Well, a couple of things for me. One is that I usually have a planned bike day that I jam into my schedule to ride, and I know that if I don't get in that bike ride that day, I'm probably not going to get a ride in for at least 4 or 5 days after that. And today, it was so nasty out in the morning, I didn't want to ride, but my next scheduled bike day is Saturday, and it's supposed to be raining on Saturday. So I knew I wouldn't get a ride in on Saturday, so I had to ride today. Otherwise, no ride at all this week.
Another thing that can really keep you motivated is if you either ride with a group or you have a friend that's expecting you on that ride day. I know I ride with my brother and he's a nut. He always likes to ride in almost any weather, so he's got me to go out on some rides where I would have rather stayed in bed.
The other thing that will definitely help you on a bad winter's day or just a generally cruddy day is to make sure you're dressed properly. And if you're dressed right, the elements shouldn't really be that much of a factor. And on a day like today, where it was awful in the morning and beautiful later in the afternoon, you really got to layer, which I did not do. You got to wear like a nice spring kit underneath your winter kit. Today I am stuck sweating in this winter kit. And this happens to me quite a bit, this weather. Now first, let me apologize to all you people on the East Coast and the Midwest when I talk about bad weather, because I'm in California, and as a cyclist, I'm spoiled rotten by this California weather, and the weather I call bad, you guys would think was the nicest day of the year. So, I know you guys deal with sub-zero temperatures, and all kinds of snow and all kinds of really nasty weather. So you've got to take everything I say as a Californian with a grain of salt. Anyway, back to layering. It really helps if the weather changes to have at least the ability to take your winter top off and have a spring or summer jersey handy. Because boy, you really don't want to get stuck sweating like I am right now in this winter jacket.
It's not just those cold, rainy, miserable days like this that make it hard to get out and ride. It's also those scorching hot days when it's 102 or 104. I have a trick for that one too. I have a place midpoint in my ride where I can get a Frosty or an ice cream cone. In my case, it's a Costco, and they have cheap ice cream and Frosties, and I really look forward to getting down there when I'm sweating and I'm really working hard, and that's one way that I keep going on a really hot day.
Another thing that will get me out on the road is that when I plan a bike ride and the weather looks like it's going to be okay, I tend to bulk up. I eat well the night before, and then in the morning I have a big meal, especially on a long ride like a 50-miler, to make sure I have enough energy. So like today I had a huge bowl of oatmeal for this ride, and then when it looked like it was too awful to ride, I was like, well, I've got to ride. I just ate a huge bowl of oatmeal, so that helped get me out the door too. One thing I wanted to mention, and I don't know if you guys had this experience, but on the days I do go out in the absolutely miserable weather, at the end of the ride, I'm really proud of myself. I almost feel like I deserve a medal for going out and doing it, even though it was so mentally difficult to do. I bet a lot of you had the same experience. So what do you guys do when you just can't get motivated for a ride? Let me know in the comments below. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.